Think about the last time someone crossed a line with you. You noticed it. You didn't like it. But you said nothing. Maybe you didn't want drama. Maybe you thought, I'll let this one go. So you did. Then they did it again. And this time, they watched your reaction. That's the part most people miss. Sometimes, the question isn't, will you tolerate this? The question is, what happens when I do it again? The first time. It usually doesn't begin with something huge. It's something small enough to explain away. They cancel on you at the last minute. They make a disrespectful joke. They ignore something you clearly asked them not to do. Maybe they borrow something and don't return it. You notice. But instead of confronting them, you think, it's not that serious. And honestly, sometimes it isn't. But people are always learning from interactions. Not necessarily in some calculated, evil way. They're learning what works with you. They learn what gets a reaction. They learn what doesn't. And most importantly, they learn what you eventually forgive. Then, it happens again. A few days later. The same thing happens. This time, you're more annoyed. You say something. They apologize. My bad, it won't happen again. And because you care about the relationship, you accept the apology. Then life goes on, until it happens again. And now you're confused. I already told you this bothers me. But here's the uncomfortable question. Did they hear your boundary, or did they hear your frustration? Because those aren't always the same thing. People watch what you do. You can tell someone, don't speak to me like that. But if they do it again, and you stay in the exact same situation, your actions may be communicating something different. Not because you deserve the disrespect, not because it's your fault, but because people often pay attention to consequences more than explanations. If someone knows there will be no consequence, why would they suddenly become uncomfortable crossing the line? And then, the test gets bigger. This is where you might recognize yourself. First, they make a small decision without considering you. Then they start expecting you to accommodate them. Then they become comfortable disappointing you. Then, something happens that you would have considered completely unacceptable months ago, and you're sitting there thinking, how did we get here? You didn't get there in one moment. You got there through a series of moments, where something bothered you, you noticed it, and you stayed quiet. But not everyone is manipulating you, and this matters. Sometimes people aren't deliberately testing you. They may be selfish, careless, immature, or simply unaware of how their behavior affects you. The real test comes after you speak clearly. You don't need to threaten them. You don't need to become aggressive. You simply say, I don't like being treated this way. Then watch. Not their words. Their behavior afterward. Do they make an effort? Do they become defensive? Do they turn the problem back on you? Or do they repeat the exact same behavior and expect another apology to reset everything? That's when you learn something. Because respect isn't proven when someone agrees with you. It's proven when they understand. You have a limit. They don't have to like your boundary. They don't even have to agree with it. But if they respect you, they won't repeatedly punish you for having one. And if someone keeps crossing the same line, maybe the real question isn't, why do they keep doing this? Maybe it's, what am I going to do differently this time? Think about someone you've been tolerating lately. Not someone you hate. Someone you actually care about. What's the thing they keep doing that you've already told yourself you'll overlook? Because sometimes, people aren't discovering how much you can tolerate. They're learning it from you. And the moment you stop explaining the same boundary and start enforcing it, the entire relationship can change. Because the clearest boundary isn't always what you say, it's what you finally stop accepting.